All right. So you mentioned you're working on mainframes?
Yeah, so I work for the City of Chesapeake.
Yep, exactly. I remember.
Currently, I am labeled. It's a bit of a confusing thing because I have like four bosses and no bosses at the same time because I'm a contractor, but I've never met with the contracting. It's a bit of a weird little dance I'm doing, but it on on paper it's confusing as heck, but in practice it's super easy. I just talk to like my supervisor's supervisor and everything works fine. Um, but I'm technically a computer operator,
Hmm.
and I work with the engineering team whenever they need jobs ran or if they need reports printed or things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Clearing the error queue, monitoring errors, monitoring if the mainframe has a runaway transaction, which we get a lot of because the way the mainframe is currently set up, if you forget to put in a oh God, how was it explained to me? It would query the database, and it would, if you didn't put in certain fields, it would take it as almost kind of a wild card. So it would start querying the entire database,
Everything, yeah.
and it also
Oh,
wouldn't stop until it found it. So it would go through and be like, well, I didn't find it. Well, let me check again real quick and check again, and check again, and check again. And it would just be a runaway transaction. So at that point, we have to kill it just because
yeah,
of how it's set up. So that's one of my day-to-days is my main jobs are performing mainframe jobs and applications and on request,
yeah,
monitoring the mainframe for both runaway transactions and overall system performance, reporting errors, anything that I kind of notice that's a little dubious. Um, a lot of customer service kind of things where it's not exactly customers, but I do work with pretty much all the other departments where I work with the commissioner of revenue, the treasurer's department,
oh,
um, the school system, the
yeah,
payroll system, finance. I've helped service desk on a few times. I've tried to take on a few different jobs with oh god, CT, just computer technicians. I've tried to help
yeah,
them with like printer rerouting and stuff. So I've worked with
yeah.
Jez and JQP, stuff like that.
Nice.
Uh, I'm pretty much, I'm sure it's not a great mentality long term because I'm sure at some point I will just become burnt out. But as of right now, I'm like, if anyone's ever like, "Hey Jacob, can you help me with something?" I'm like, "Absolutely, teach me what I need to do." Because I just want to learn
Yeah,
anything I
yeah,
can at this
exactly.
point,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I
yeah.
think is important to do, especially at this point.
Yeah. So just to be mainframe, I start giggling or just start smiling. To be honest with you, I worked in mainframes too before. I don't know if you even remember First Union National Bank. It's like an old bank before.
Mhm.
I think it became Signet. It became something else. Now I think it's Wachovia, if I remember. But anyways, it got bought up. And then after Wachovia, it became it's one of the another name is actually common these days. But anyways, so I actually learned mainframe, and also in the back end, we set up dumb terminals. And in order for us to now, in order for you to connect your computer to a network, so you get your RJ45 and stuff, these are literally we call them 1 cent blocks that you have to use a punch down tool. This two literally almost two wire that you plug in almost if like back in the day telephone pole. That's
Yeah, the
how
the cross copper wires.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you connect it in the back, and then all of a sudden you put power in dumb terminal, you get your keyboard, and it connects to the mainframe. So that's how I started to, God, it's like back in the 90s. So, but I actually learned a lot. I think I remember like Rumba is the client, but it's first because it's a bank, and I
Mhm.
don't have any idea. And the back end topology is actually token ring. So if one of those ring actually goes bad, the entire whatever is connected to it, it'll just collapse. So, but they have this ring redundancy. It's just kind of crazy back then. And Token Ring back many, many moons ago, it's actually one of the fast connection. And when I mean fast, it's nowhere near like 1 gig. back then.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it's like it's below 100 gig. But at that time, it was actually faster. So token ring environment, it was just kind of crazy. That's actually cool. But I like your attitude on helping out because I saw myself, that's how I did it too before. So I started as help desk, and then I get bored easily. So what I ended up doing, basically like what you're doing. Hey, what's up, brother Jay? So what I ended up doing, anybody that wanted help, I was like, sure, sign me up. Let me go ahead and do it. I just want to learn. So I'm not stovepipe of doing one thing. And speaking of mainframe, I have one friend, and Jeremiah know this. It's actually a relative of mine too, John or Johnny. His dad used to work for here at Dallas Airport. They believe it or not, they're still running mainframe for, I guess, to um a back end of how the planes are actually going to the gates and stuff. Even though you see windows in their terminal, back like the backbone is still, believe it or not, still mainframe for years. I don't know now. Might be different, but it's still mainframe to be honest with you. So if you look at like jobs out there, not to say yeah, stick with mainframe. That's not what I meant. But just to tell you that there's still mainframe is still living up to this point. And even for payroll, like what you mentioned earlier. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? So it's been around for quite some time, to be honest with you. So how's
Yeah.
your go ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna kind of agree with you because I've been looking into it a little bit, just like who else is using mainframe, and it is a lot of banking institutions, and I do
Still.
believe some airports and
Yeah.
airline things are still using it, but
Yep.
it's mainly banking institutions, which I thought was kind of interesting because
Right.
I kind of know my God, I don't even, technically she's my cousin, but she's like older than me, so it's
And
weird. But she works for Chase Bank and she's like a fairly high up person. I'm like, maybe I
there
could
you
get a job at
go.
Chase Bank if I
Yeah.
be good enough at mainframe.
Exactly. Yeah. So tell us how's your test? How did you so what is the
Uh,
test all about? You said it's under CompTIA, right? Still within
yes,
CompTIA.
it is
Okay.
a CompTIA Tech Plus. It is. I could pull up the thing if you'd like, but it was like a
Yeah.
lot of the fundamentals, you know,
Yeah.
that, how do I
So you
put
probably
this?
breeze through it,
N-
huh?
No. Okay,
Not
yes and
really.
no.
Yeah.
Yes
Yeah.
and no. When I
Yeah.
did the lectures, everything my lecturer was telling me, I was like, yeah, I know that. Okay, I get that. Or I'd be like, oh, I can relate that to this, and I would get it. There was never a part where I was like, what the heck is he talking about? But when I started doing the like actual readings, like the deep dives in the textbook, there were some parts where I'm like, oh Lord. Because it's how do I put this nicely? It's a lot of the technical information that sometimes feels a little bit like trivia, where it's like, oh, convert this to binary, like on the fly. And I'm like, this isn't something someone's actually gonna have to do. Someone's gonna have a key, someone's gonna have a table. No
Yeah,
one's ever
right.
just gonna
Yeah.
like whip
I know
whip
it's
out a piece of
annoying.
paper that has binary on it and be like, read this. And so, I had to learn binary, I had to learn hexadecimal, I had to learn uh, octave, all that. That was not too bad. It had some security stuff, breezed through the security stuff. None of that was news to me. You guys got me on that.
Yeah.
Um, there was some stuff about cabling. I learned a lot about the RJ45 and the different tools, the crimping tool
Nice.
and all that. Um, a lot of it was kind of I think it prepared me more for what other CompTIA tests are going to be like because I've never taken
Yeah.
one. The
Ah, okay.
questions were really odd
Right?
because
Yep.
not that I would ever expose secrets of CompTIA, I would never talk about them, but it would just be like a user is having trouble. They can log into one computer, but they can't log into a different computer. What would address this issue? And it didn't say like actual steps. It just kind of said like broad categories, like um, firewall, um, certificate, um, in like Wi-Fi or something else. And so I chose certificate because that you have to validate, but it just kind of odd questions like that where it's like I can see what you mean and I can see why these other ones aren't correct, but this one doesn't feel 100% like it jumps
Uh,
out of you. But there were also a bunch of questions that were like, oh, um, what is the part of Jesus, I can't remember. I was so mind flooded. I just crammed so
yeah.
hard for it.
How many questions?
70 questions.
Oh, okay. It's a normal one. Is this what's the main reason why you have to take this test? Is it a requirement for your current job position?
So it wasn't a requirement. It was kind of it's what they recommended. And I was a little against it, if I'm being perfectly honest,
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, they're willing to kind of pay for any of the certification classes. And I'm like, oh, I want Security Plus right away.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm gonna that'll count towards my college credits that I'm still going to.
Yep. Yep.
And I know security pretty well. I'm sure if I get a lecturer and I get the textbook, I can study up and pass it. So I'm like, oh, they're like, hey, do you want to take any classes? I'm like, oh, I'd definitely be interested in taking Security Plus. And they're like, oh, do you have any other certifications? And I'm like, no, this would be my first one technically. And they're like, you should take Tech Plus. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay. And then I asked my boss, I'm like, hey, they're offering to let me take a certification. What do you think I should take? Hoping my boss would be like, oh, you should take Security Plus. And he was also like, Tech Plus. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be that guy that pushes against my higher ups and like tries to stir trouble. Because then if I went out for Security Plus and failed it, and then they both looked at me and went, should have taken Tech Plus. So
Yeah.
I just took Tech Plus. I honestly think it was a really good experience just for learning what style of test CompTIA is,
Exactly.
because it
Yep.
is it is wildly different than any other test I've ever taken. It's definitely harder than like the SATs and other tests like that,
Yeah.
where I feel like it is also just the level of acronyms, and I'm so bad with acronyms. They gave
Yeah.
me that little whiteboard to write all my notes down on, and I just started writing down acronyms like a madman.
Yeah. So what's the next I
I
guess Sec Plus should be the next test.
probably for me is gonna be I'm probably gonna shoot for Sec Plus. I bought I don't know if you guys ever look at Humble Bundle, but they had a big bundle of certification courses,
Yeah.
and I bought that, so I'm going to use that. Maybe I'll buy the CompTIA like official test prep thing for a couple $100 just to make sure I'm getting exactly what they want. And the obvious ones always been recommended: Professor Messer, Dion training,
Yeah.
things like that.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and I'm not going to hold myself to this because life has been a little hectic lately, but classes start back up on the 24th.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
right.
I'm hoping if I sit down and study for like the next 2 weeks,
Weeks before class starts.
I can maybe fit it in before class starts, and that
Yeah.
would take a kind of a weight off my shoulders. But
I think you
I
we
think I
it's actually yeah, you're pretty good on
I think I
get that.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks will be enough as long as you're gonna really put some time in, and then we can also I can provide my own notes. I took my Sec Plus. I had to take it twice, so the first time I took it, I was like 10 points from passing. So
Oh,
I just rescheduled another one quickly, and the problem with these guys is you have to know how to answer the way they like it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep, yep.
You know,
Not
even
what we
even though you
think.
would think like this
Yeah.
is the right answer, I know for a fact, but they want this answer. So if you pick that, then you're gonna have you be in trouble. So it's just a matter of how they want the students answer the questions on their own terms.
Mm.
That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. We all hate taking exam, but yeah, it's yeah, CompTIA between and then you're gonna get to a stage two. So CompTIA, then you get the EC Council and so on. Then you get the vendor ones. Like Jeremiah always talk about, because he did mainly concentrate on these different companies. So he's driven to Like I have to take these certs to level up within his own company, like Tenable. Jeremiah shared his which level are you in now for like certs in Tenable now?
So the progression, since my customers are all air gap systems, they only have SC. They don't like VM because VM is cloud.
Yep.
So my manager was like, since our customers are mainly SC, just focus on getting your certs on SC. There's an introduction that's free. There's an intermediate that is paid, but since I work for Tenable, it becomes free. And then the uh, expert, and then there's a specialist. So I have to do three freaking training just to get to where I need to be. It's required. It's for, I need to get those certs to basically keep my position here at Tenable. But like what Ray said, I hate taking exams because sometimes like it's unfair that they would grade you for questions that you have to memorize. I mean, how much data can you really retain? I would
Yeah.
rather they give me a problem. Okay, here's a problem. Solve this problem. And then, with the Tenable tools that you have, explain to us how you can achieve satisfying this use case. And a human being will actually take a look at it. Oh yeah, he's correct. So you grade it that way. I like that better exam approach than the regular exams. But it is what it is, right? That's the reality of it. Sometimes you have to just memorize. Me and Ray, interview a lot of professionals, booklet of certs. Okay, buddy.
Binder of
Looks
certs.
like looks like you got it all together, man. I have a simple problem for you. Please fix it for me. So this computer cannot reach to this computer. Run me through how you're gonna run down on the troubleshooting. And
Yep,
they go
yep.
like, what? I'm like, dude, you just showed me some certs. So now, like, let's put it into let's see how it is.
Yeah,
They
right.
cannot answer a simple, question. So we would rather get someone who can solve the problem. But if someone has certs and then they can solve problem, man,
Great. That's a
that's
plus.
great.
Yep.
Now we're talking.
All right. So how's school, Jacob?
Objectively, it's going well. I have a 4.0. I have perfect grades.
Nice. Very
So
nice.
objectively, it's going well.
Yeah.
But I find the retention after the classes to be a bit hard.
Uh-huh.
And I've talked to other people who have taken graduate classes, and they're like, yeah, that's normal. You
Uh-huh.
kind of, to speak crassly, you kind of bust your ass for 18, 16 weeks. You're not really going to retain stuff, but
Nope.
it's the fact that you can perform at that level for that long and get the results you're getting that kind of matters. And that just kind of fundamentally goes against what I know. So it's kind of hard for that to sit with me. But I mean, it's going well. I am learning things. I am taking my notes. I am building skills and things. This semester I'm taking my capstone course where we're going to write a big old paper. But
Oh, so you're almost done.
yeah, if I get my security plus or any I guess network plus I could also take, but I'm probably leaning towards security plus just because of my background.
Yeah.
That counts for 3 credits. I'm taking my
Oh,
capstone, which is another 3 credits, and I'm
Whoa.
taking my school had I'm taking classes at ODU. Um, for better or for worse, the dean has made it so all online classes are only 8 weeks. They can only be 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yeah, the online version of ODU now is,
8 weeks.
I would say, rapid,
It is. That's
which I'm not in love with. And a lot of the campus, there was some campus drama where pretty much all the faculty voted against that proposition. And then the dean said, we need to stay competitive in this environment. It's what's the good for our school. And he overrid it. So, kind of my lot in life. I am, of course, going to be a guinea pig for another school based program, but I'm interested to see how it goes. Maybe it'll be good. I know at the tail end of 2019 when COVID was all going, we all got locked down. I got a bunch of online classes because I was in my senior year and I had 4 classes and a lot of my teachers didn't know how to do online classes.
There.
So normally they recommend, oh, you do less work, but kind of deeper work, but less frequency. A lot of my teachers pretty much gave us double work for the last like
Oh yeah.
8 weeks, and it was a rough little ride there at the end. But I'm hoping the teachers n- will be able to adjust to an 8 week format, and I hope I will be able to adjust to an 8 week format. But I'm interested to see how it goes. But yeah, if I get my capstone, I get my security plus, and I'm taking, I believe, digital forensics
Oh,
because
yeah, I like that one.
I like
that
that
was
one. Yeah, good.
that was the
Mhm.
most interesting elective
Yeah.
left for me, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. That's good.
Um,
Nice.
and if I finish and get my my good grades in all those, I will have my master's degree in cybersecurity.
See, there you go.
And
Man, we're so proud of you.
beat me to it, man.
And so I don't know if Jacob know our brother Jay that he actually went back. Jeremiah actually went back to school as well to get his MBA, I believe, right? Yep.
MBA, but since I'm at work, I do a lot of AI exposure,
Mhm.
so they're gonna pay for it. I just went ahead and did an MBA in applied artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
But the only part that I don't like about it is I have to learn coding. I mean, Ray knows that I hate coding, and but it's cool to learn. Um, and but still, after going through the process, I'm gonna be lying to you. I'm gonna say, "Oh, I really enjoyed the process. I'm having fun with it." Like, heck no. After I'm
Hey,
done with this class, get my degree, it's just good on paper, right? But however, I'm already doing the work, helping out, you know, uh the our government to handle AI, how AI is being used within their environment, how if they're compromised, how far they are they ankle, knee, or neck deep? Because sometimes, check this out. One of my customers said, "Hey, they just added Microsoft Copilot, and everyone's using it, and we're curious, like if anyone is uploading data on the internet." So they did a pilot with us, and we found out, there's a couple of agents that are uploading their IPs outside of their environment. This is all we got bought right away. They were like, "We want this. Like, can we get this now?" Like, and we have to, the proof of concept
Yeah.
became a production, and like in weeks. So this is a real story, man. Like, we're talking about a government agency here.
Right.
Uh, so that's just one example of it.
Okay. And speaking of AI, Jacob, I know you use our Open LLM for
a little
Netsectap.
bit.
So we basically kind of enhance the tool. We're still using it, but now we have MCP server. There's so much stuff that we actually do. Jeremiah and I were always discussing. He gives me like, hey, Ray, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? And then all of a sudden, basically months after months, wherever we get free time, we'll sit down and say, okay, we got this now. We can upload this. We can do this. We could. There's so many tools because before it's just web, regular chat. But now we sort of fork from three top LLM, which is Gemini, Claude, and OpenAI. So we um we basically integrate the three together and then we introduce a bunch of tools. Mostly the tools behind the scenes cyber or security driven, which is connecting to VirtualBox. Base your hash. And we'll look in VirtualBox database. Let's see what do you have. So what kind of virus are you into? And it's almost geared towards a lot of the stuff that we've been learning throughout Netsectap. And then Jeremiah said, "Oh, maybe integrated with Tenable. Let's pull the information from Vulnerability because it'd be nice to say, hey, I'm looking at this host, blah blah blah. Show me the top vulnerabilities and so on and so forth." So it's still growing, but it's there. I believe your account is still there. So check it out. Um, we got Google authentication now. I mean, there's so many different kind of connection, and mainly it's API driven. So it's not really, really heavy on the server. So it's all
Mm.
like API and MCP connection. So that's what we got, like an update for you. And a couple of your guys or our guys that you train with. I don't know if you remember Brian Jr., Trevor, Carlos, those guys.
I
Most of
do.
those, yeah, most of those guys are actually working with us now.
That's
So
awesome.
we're all on the same team, and we had the lunch. Was it lunch or dinner, Brother Jay, with Junior?
I believe it's like in between. Like
Yeah,
we met a little bit early, but
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was out. You know, those are one of the things that I really look forward to. Like our students, once they get their job, they get their first paycheck, and then they take us out and looking back, talking about, hey, remember this day when we were doing this class?
yeah.
Before we were just talking about a six-figure salary, and look, dude, you have it now. So it's just like a parent kid, a parent being proud
Senior
to
kid,
their kids, like finally making it. You know what I mean?
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so when you graduate, Jacob, maybe
Mhm.
either drive all the way over here. Now it's our turns. I mean, you got certs now that you got a job, and now you're completing your master's. Let's sync up with Jay, and then maybe we can do something here at dinner or something.
Mhm. We
So
always
It'd be
talk about
nice.
you, Jacob. We're really proud of
yeah,
you, man, because I remember when we are on class and then you still have to do some work. And then I remember your story about, man, I had to, work and then how to save up money so that I can support myself. And now you're working now and in the field that you've been prepping. This, I mean, what other better story than this, man? I'm so proud of you. We are so proud of you, man. And you always have us. It doesn't matter that you have uh, you know, you're already working. You can always Discord us if you have any question. Because I'm sure you're gonna bump into something. What the heck is this, man? Like you're gonna be, in front of a wall. But don't forget us, man. Well, we still here, even though you already graduated, you already have a job. Well, we're gonna be here for you regardless. That Discord thing, just message us. And Yeah, so happy. And then when Ray mentioned about this, actually, I was supposed to go to a meeting, to a
yeah.
client meeting. I turned it down. I told him like, "Hey guys, sorry, I'm not gonna be able to join you on the dinner. We're supposed to meet at McCormick's Mix at Reston."
You
I told
turned
him
down
Oh,
like,
you
McCormick
turned
and
that down
Schmitz?
"Dude,
for him? No, no, I'm just kidding,
it's
No,
Jacob.
our
no,
student
I'm on your
Jacob.
side, Ray.
We're gonna be talking to him, and we're gonna check on him, and then just hear about his success." I'm like, that is more important than these MFs. You know what I
So speaking
mean?
of success, Jacob, so like our newer students and some of our fan clubs out there, they're always asking because now um, the newer generation is, and Jeremiah can attest to this one. They're on the limb of should I still continue my college? And then you get cert. And then now, the AI world and well, I can learn everything from YouTube, or I'm just gonna go do boot camp and stuff. I can land a job. You are one of our core one because you actually went through from the very beginning, having a job that's not IT related, and it took you a minute to basically find a job, and we went through back and forth. You trained with us. What's your, what could you tell our guys out there that's basically, because they're aiming to be like you. We've met some people to finish degree, but one of their main thing is how can I get experience if none of these company will hire me to get experience, right? So that's one of their thing. And then second one, should I take certification? Remember what Jeremiah and I had told you, take the basic cert, that's not going to break your wallet, or you're not going to be broke. And then once you get to, I don't know if you remember that, once you start working, have your company pay for training and cert, which
Absolutely.
you're actually doing now.
Mhm. I would say to anyone starting, especially from a situation with that I started in, which was I graduated college with a bachelor's degree in English, and knew I knew a little bit about computers because I'd built my own, and I've always liked computers, but I never really considered it as a career. I would say learn as much as you can for free. And as you mentioned, YouTube, AI, anything else. Learn as much as you can for free. But what really kind of solidified it for me was A, working with you guys actively providing me with feedback, actively providing me with challenges. Because anyone can go sign up for Try Hack Me and do the rooms. But sticking with it and going back every day, I would be hard pressed to find someone that has that just raw level of dedication.
Yeah.
And I know because you guys were like, "Oh, we're going to check in on this." I was like, "I got to do this. I got to do this, and I got to do it well, and I got to understand it." So, it kind of sounds silly, but just having that sort of background pressure of, "Oh, I'm actually going to have to talk about this,"
Yeah.
is super helpful to me. Um, if you're talking about someone who is sitting and unable to get a job in a technical field, what I would recommend is keep learning. Don't be discouraged just because you're not getting a job. Jobs, sadly, sadly, luck is a pretty big factor, and especially in certain areas. Some
Mhm.
areas just don't have a lot of turnover, so their jobs just might not exist, which is a terrible thing to say, but it is the truth. What I have seen, I've seen 4 service desk people at my job get promoted and replaced. And the one thing that got the new people their job that they talked about was okay, the 2 things.
Yeah.
One, soft skills are way more important than you think.
Mhm.
You can be the greatest problem solver
Yeah.
on the planet, but if your social skills and your soft skills are terrible,
Yeah.
you're not going to do well in the interview and you're not going to get the job.
Yep.
I wish it was 100% merit based and they're like, "Oh, this guy's got it on lock. This guy can run our whole department." But you have to have those soft skills because every single role you're going to be in is customer service to a degree. Even if you're not in a customer facing role, you're going to have to talk to your coworkers. Because as
Mhm.
much as you can rely on the internet and AI, sometimes you do just have to walk across the hall and ask the guy that's been there for 20 years, "Hey, I'm looking at something I don't understand at all. Can you explain this to me?" And that's going to be your best bet. So work on those soft skills. And trust me, I had to work on them. I'm not the most social person, but eye contact, being confident in your own voice, not be something I would say, especially for interviews, is not being afraid to give yourself space, taking a question in and being like, "That's a good question, and I want to give it the proper time. Can I have a second to think about it?" A lot of people will, I thought that for a long time, that was like a big no in interviews, but
Yeah.
honest to God, take space for yourself. The other thing that a few of those service desk people had was a service now certification. So
Yeah.
I would look in your area what type of ticketing system, and a
Yep.
lot of places are using ServiceNow. So I would
Mhm.
shoot for that one. Look at the type of ticketing system they're using and see what type of certification they have and go for that. Because
Yep.
that on your resume, I'm pretty sure that's what got like 6 people interviews. They didn't care about just about anything else. They cared that they had the service. They didn't have to teach them the whole
Yeah,
pretty
because
much
they
inner
already know how to
workings.
work it. Yep.
Yeah. They probably know how to work it better than some people who don't have that certification that have been just working there for a long time.
Yep.
So it kind of boils down to 3 things for jobs specifically: a little bit of luck, soft skills, and I would say the certification, but mainly just kind of stay curious and stay learning.
Yeah. I agree.
That's really what it boils down to from my perspective.
Nice. So I know it's been a minute. We still keep on contact, like Discord, you're always there anyways too. Um, Anything that you wanna like talk more about, or if you have any questions for us? I know we're still doing a lot of training, but now we focus more on like Jeremiah and I, instead of having these huge classes and just go through it, we sort of move towards like one-on-one sort of coaching training at the same time. So we kind of like that part. So we've been successful enough to do. It's not that we hate talking, training a lot of people. It's just sometimes you have this different mix of people that's kind of,
D
you
different
get
skill
the best,
levels.
different skill
It's
level.
yeah,
It's
that
kind
makes
of tough.
perfect sense.
Think of it as like a master class
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
format.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Um, you know, when things settle down, hopefully after I finish my master's degree, I would
yeah,
probably want to work with you guys either in like a setting or a class setting of just kind of AI, because I would say that's one of my
yeah.
weaker skills. And unless something changes in the next literal like 6 months, it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not going
No,
anywhere.
no,
So
exactly.
I,
So,
I've seen so many emails because just like you were saying earlier, Jeremiah, like so much of this is like government.
yeah. Hmm.
What's the word? It's weird to say governance because it's government related, but it is governance over AI. I'm
Yeah.
like, they had to send so many emails of like, hey, stop putting classified information in the AI agents.
Yep. And then once it's uploaded out there,
That's it.
it's there.
Hmm.
Please
So
stop putting personally identifying information in the
Information.
AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm.
Please.
Yeah. However, now you'll see most of these, like the top, at least the one that we use, the Gemini, the Claude. You could even test it now. Now, I believe the government, or a lot of, not just government, but private industry, put the onus on the company that makes these AI, the programs, the LLMs. You can even test like in Claude, like, hey, I messed up one time. I was working on API keys and stuff. So I actually pasted because I'm just like, no, this is my problem. But on my debug, the API key is actually there. And then Claude basically said, I'm not going to repeat this, but would you want to redact that next time or roll over your API keys? Because I already saw it, which is kind of neat. I never seen that before. So now it's more on they have a bunch of what do you call it, brother Jay? Guardrails. So it keeps on
Mhm.
improving now. So anything that detects from PI to password, and it will even tell you like, hey, the username and password, it's not kind of encrypted. This is your password. You might want to change that after we continue this conversation, which is kind of neat. So
That's
Like
honestly pretty
sometimes system
cool.
admins will just copy and paste a config file that has the database username and password on
this
there.
already, yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
yo, why don't you just like get the error and then get the part or redact at least like remove the username and
Yeah,
password.
exactly. Before you hit that enter key, it's like,
Yeah, I know.
look at it first. But now it's again, you already mentioned, Jacob, that AI is not going anywhere. So it's almost my experience before when we started adopting to or embracing, back in the old days, like the internet, right? The Y2K and everything else. It's here and there's no stopping it. So it's gonna be within like when the smartphone started, it's everywhere, right? So it's an ongoing going back and forth. There's no rhyme or reason to say, hey, you'll hear people. It's an ongoing discussion going back and forth. There's really no right answer to say we should stop AI. It's almost telling that we should stop internet or something like that. It's never gonna go away. It's already embedded in everything. So even like your Gmails, like I don't want the AI, but it just shows up. Hey, AI, click on it. Like these are the emails that you haven't read. What do you want to do with it? We're like, why are you in my business? Right. So like that's the part that I'm
That
basically having different folders. So I would do it myself, but now it's like it's in your face, kind of like, what do you want to do with this? Do you want to reply
yeah,
back? So
that's the part of the conversation that I think really needs to be had. Like AI's it's out of the box. There's no putting it back in the box. But
Uh-huh.
I feel like every individual should have the option to segment it away from things. Like I don't want it in my email. I don't want
Yeah.
it in other places, but it's here, and for better or for worse,
Or
that's
worse.
not going to change. And I mean, y'all read about the AI agent that broke containment and started hacking the other AI.
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
that story and I was just like, it's
Yeah.
happening.
No, but
Yeah.
the real problem here is vulnerabilities. I
Oh,
mean, instead of days to write, I mean, we're talking about like, minutes to hours.
yeah.
Uh and of course, like these are computers, right? If you provide them good information, perfect context, uh like you've seen news about AI finding 26 plus years of 0-day exploit on supposed to be super secure Unix Linux based distribution. How is that even possible? Like,
Yeah.
even like the best elite hackers, they can even figure that out. This AI came out of nowhere and figured it out in what, few minutes?
Right.
So yeah, so we need to learn how to control this thing, right?
Yeah. And what I learned too, some of the guys, because Brother Jay went back MBA. I actually went back to school too. We have the same kind of major now with MBA with artificial intelligence. So one of the uh my one of my core courses is like the AI piece too. Uh the professor said ba- his quote is control AI. Don't let AI control you. You already mentioned earlier. It's like, hey, we should have an option to basically not AI right in my face. Like, why are you in my email? Because you already know if AI saying, hey, you haven't read this email, you already know that the body of that email, it's already somewhere in the system that AI already processed, right? Unless you have some attachment that is encrypted or password protected or zip password protected or and so forth, right? So you already knew that someone's reading your email. AI is already reading it. It's already there, right? So if it can do that, basically tell you you haven't read this email, and like, oh, okay, so you read my email. I just need to open it up and say, nope, I don't want it, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, that's actually a good point. So, again, I don't have anything else, Jacob, but this is great. It's great to sync up with you. Jay and
Always
I
great to catch
are
up with you
actually
guys.
looking forward to this, and we mean it when you graduate. Let us know. Come over here. We'll take you to dinner. We'll do something because it's going to be one of our a great celebration. How, since the day that we met you, you trained with us all the way to how you became all that stuff that you just did from going to college, your interview process, our mock interviews, your training with us. I'm sure well, it's some days where our kind of people were actually always like pushing you to the limit, but
Oh no,
that's the
I'm
goal, right?
super grateful. The mock interviews are the only reason I have the job I currently have because the way
Yeah,
it
I
worked
remember you
out,
mentioned like the interview was easy because we
Yeah,
grilled
like
you
that's
so
it.
hard, and then they go like,
you you guys grilled me. I did the interview. I didn't get the job. The gentleman that interviewed me thought I did so well. He recommended me to a colleague of his and said, "Hey, you're looking for someone. You need to interview this guy." And they reached out to me about a job. That's how I got this job
wow.
because I
Oh, that's
interviewed
Oh
so
wow,
good.
that
well
gave me
with
goosebumps.
with a gentleman at there for he was looking for a computer technician.
Yeah.
His name was Paul Sung. You guys did a deep dive on him. I remember
We
that.
did.
You
Mm,
guys
We
did like a
did. We
LinkedIn
did.
deep dive, and you're like, oh, he was in the Navy. You
yeah.
guys did a deep dive on him. I interviewed with him and another lady. I didn't get the job. Well, okay, so not even that. It was technically an internship. I didn't get the
Mhm. Yes, I
internship.
remember that. Yep. Mhm.
I didn't get
Yes.
the internship. He
Yeah.
then recommended me for a full-time job with another department.
Mhm.
She interviewed me, and I got the job 3 days later.
Woo!
Nice.
Man, you
So,
are
so
shooting for an intern, potentially free,
Now you
and
got
then
a
you ended
full-time
up
job.
got
The,
a a paying job.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, no,
Look at that.
the mock interviews I am so thankful for. You guys are absolutely integral to me having my current job.
Yeah. That is awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
actually made this story even sweeter,
Right,
Jacob.
right?
Thank you for sharing that. And whoever's watching this video, me and Ray are the worst salesmen. Actually, I'm in the sales. I don't
Yeah,
really
that's
know how
right.
to sell things, but if there is one thing that me and Ray, are on a same headspace, we would like other people to be successful, especially, hearing this, man. Uh, you've been in the classes, you've endured the hard assignments, and I know you were kind of the shy guy, right? And then I keep telling you, dude, you got this, man. Like, you really have to just trust in yourself. You know this. Come on, man. So we just have to push you hard. And so excited when I heard about the news that you finally, secured that position.
Yeah.
And just this story alone. I mean, I didn't actually 100% honest. I didn't know the flow on
Yeah,
how these things
it's a
actually
little bit
went
of a
down.
roundabout thing, but
Yeah, yeah, but oh man, that's amazing. That made my day.
Yeah. Because I remember you mentioned Jacob, like, yo, I don't think I didn't get the interview.
Yeah, you were so
And
down, and then
yeah, I think we
offline,
still have it in
I have to call
Discord.
Ray. Like we were like parents that are really like super worried about
I
you.
was depressed. I was like, dang, I couldn't even get an internship.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Beans.
And then
But
I
then
was
I
like,
got a
oh man,
random call
we
like 3 days later, and they were like,
uh-huh.
"Hey, you interviewed with Paul Sugg yesterday,
Yeah.
like 2 days ago. Would you be interested in doing another interview?" I'm like,
Heck
"Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?" And then it led to a full-time job. So I'm so thankful of you guys for pushing me, for doing those mock interviews, for asking the tough questions.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
we're so happy and proud of you, man. So yeah, like what we said, thank you. Like this is actually great talking, seeing you again right when you finish your degree, man. Graduation. Come over here.
Yeah,
We'll
we
see.
have to celebrate that. And then
We'll do something.
we'll do
Stay with
something for
your
sure.
buddy Alex over here. So if not, you can stay here too. We don't care. We just want to
Yeah.
see you, celebrate with you. That'd be great. Huge, huge accomplishment.
Hmm.
I'll probably tell my parents first, but you guys will be the second people to know as soon as I graduate.
Nice, nice, nice. All right.
All right,
So
man.
thanks a lot, Jacob, and keep in
Always good to
touch.
see you guys. Always good to see you
Right.
guys.
All right, man. You take care, right?
You too.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.